really have had an amazing life. I mean, a really hard life. A lot of people have tough things. You've had tough things. And what do you think it was that, and I know you've talked about this before, but just that drove you to say, I can get those tapes out of my head that were, you know, pushed into me over and over again, that I'm not good enough. What was it in you that said, I'm going to rise above this?
Yeah, well, for me, it's my God voice, you know, just by the grace of God, because coming from what I came from and what I came through, I needed to have, there is no other explanation. I wish there was one, you know.
Right.
You're from New Orleans, I'm from New Orleans. Great backdrop, great place to grow up, but there was a lot of things that happened then. But it had to be that God voice telling me that you are better than this. You can rise above this. You are not what they are saying you are, you know, family, friends, or whatever, and I did.
And where was the, yeah.
And you know, I say that to anybody. I say that to anyone who's going through and people are telling you what you're not or what you can't be. You can be anything you want, especially kids. You can be anything you want to be, no matter what anybody says, even if it is your mother or father. You can be whatever you want to be. And that is the greatest lesson I've learned in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think the toughest thing was for you? I mean, I can imagine what it was, but what was the toughest thing for you as a kid?
Well, there were several things, but I think the barrage of insults, you know, from my father had to be the toughest thing, because the most difficult thing for me growing up was if your father doesn't love you, this is what I'm thinking, if your father doesn't love you, then how can anybody else love you? But what I've since found out then, sitting here at 41, is that he did what he knew how to do. He did the best that he could do. And we all have these things in life that we go through, and it's how you handle them and what you do with them. And I chose to, and I learned to use everything that had happened to me for my good. I put it in my films, I put it in work, I put it in inspiring and encouraging other people. So that's where my life is right now.
Did you start writing young when you were to get this?
No, first time I ever wrote anything, I was like 19 years old.
Really?
18, 19 years old, yeah. I was watching an Oprah show, and no, really. 18-year-old watching the Oprah show, I really was. And she said it was cathartic to write things down, so I started writing, and that's, my first play was born out of those journals.
So before that, because I think a lot of people that go through hard experiences escape either in fantasy, they kind of go out someplace else to get away from that, or they write.
Yeah.
But you didn't write, you didn't escape that way.
I didn't know that I had a gift to write because I didn't know that I was escaping in my imagination. I didn't know at the time when I was going through all the things that I was going through that in my mind I could go to a better place. And what is so fantastic about that is the place I live now is where I would go. This place of peace that I'm in now at this age is where I would go when I was a child, just believing that there is a better place for me to go to. And I would go in my head for a long time. And that is the place I go to write now. You know, I sit in a space, this sounds really crazy, but I sit in a space and I you know, go inside of myself to hear these characters and hear their voices and see what they're saying.
No, that doesn't sound crazy. It sounds like, I mean, do you meditate or do you, because when I sit, I meditate. And when I sit, I get lots of ideas. That's where my stuff comes from, when I sit and meditate.
Let me tell you what's crazy about it, because you're sitting, I'm having a moment, and I'm thinking, okay, this is great. Then I hear, what the hell wrong with you? You know, that voice just comes out, you know? So that's what's crazy about it, you know, trying to have a peaceful moment, trying to write something, and then there she is, showing up. Yeah.
She talks about orange juice.
Yes, orange juice.
Orange juice.
What you know about orange juice?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I would love to do something with you. I have a character that I've worked on and developed, and I haven't really fleshed it out completely, but I have an idea.
Are you serious?
I have, yeah, and I've done most of the work. I have the movie poster. I just don't have the script.
Okay.
So let me show you the poster and see if that inspires you at all.
Okay, let's see it.
Let's bring it out. It's Sisters from a Different Mister. We got Dame Judy Dench and Gary Busey.
Gary Busey.
All right?
Yeah.
All right. So that's all I have so far.
Okay.
All right. So if
we're off to a good start.
Okay, good.
We're off to a really good start.
This will inspire you. You'll have the voice in your head, and we'll work together.
Give me her voice. So let me hear something. Let me give me just one word.
She talks real loud.
Okay, love it.
She talks real loud. What? I can't hear you. Like that.
Okay.
That's all I have.
I got a whole movie. I love it.
I can't hear you.